has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
What up, though, Detroit? Welcome into the Woodward Sports Lions post-game show. My name is Anson Wells. I'm joined here by KG. Actually,
cancel the season.
Still got a whole bunch of people in here. We got Jeff Walker, TD in. We got Haley here doing sound for us tonight. We are going to be taking some phone calls. Do we have that phone number for him?
Yeah, I can get it for him.
Yeah, get that out to them. Yeah. Hey, man, I don't really want to start off this way, but you already knew how it was going to start off. I told you. I told you.
Here we go again, man.
You guys were all on board, and listen, it's not an indictment of this team, to be quite honest with you. This is the NFL. And I'm sitting there talking with D-Mac, towards the end, right before he leaves, and he's like, man, how are you not, how long have you watched the NFL? How are you not ready for this type of trap? 2-3 Chiefs. The NFL did not want a 2-4 Patrick Mahomes.
No, they really
period,
did.
Right?
They really did.
Prime time on the road. See you, Spenny.
Yep.
See you, Easy.
Shout out
to Heavyweights. Make sure you catch them tomorrow, 5 to 7. They'll be cutting this game up, and they'll be doing it only the style the Heavies can. But, hey, man, back to it. I was on Braylon's show 2 to 4 on Friday. I said, it's a trap. Even had Admiral Akbar up there, man. Star Wars represent. This was the classic trap game. Lions are on top of so many lists right now. Power rankings of the NFL, the best team in the NFL. Detroit fans, after jumping off the bandwagon momentarily week 1, everyone has gotten back on because this team has looked like the class of the NFL. But, hey, they go onto the road to a team that has been to the Super Bowl, 4 times now?
Yeah, about that.
Pat Mahomes wearing 3 rings. It was a game where I watched a coaching masterclass. And I don't want to say that Dan Campbell got out coached.
Yeah.
But he got out foxed today.
Yeah.
All right? And they recognized that the Detroit Lions secondary was completely depleted. They didn't take shots down the field. They stayed. I mean, I don't remember a past 20 yards in this game.
That's what the Chiefs
Maybe
do.
A couple plays that made it past 20 yards, but everything started short, and it started out on the perimeter, out on the edges, and I think that they were smart. Andy Reid said, hey, we're going to attack this secondary. We're going to attack it on the edges, and we're going to put the onus on these backup safeties and backup corners and backup nickelbacks to make tackles. Mm-hmm. But the other genius thing about that for Andy Reid is the fact that you just absolutely take the air out of the ball. You take the ball away from Jared Goff and this offense. And we saw 5 possessions in the first half. I think it was 5 or 6 in the second half. And honestly, KG, it's a complete role reversal of what we've known and said about the Kansas City Chiefs for years, because it was, hey, grind the ball, take the air out the ball, take it out of Pat Mahomes' hands. But they did the opposite, and it absolutely worked. I'm not worried about this team, but if you couldn't see this loss coming from a million miles away, you haven't been watching the same product that I've been watching. Not for long, man. Winning streaks, dominance, they don't last for long.
Does this seem like an NFL script game? 2-4-8. Nah, I mean, it is what it is. Anson, I give you credit. You called this BS again. I'm getting tired of you, man. It's almost like you want this team to lose.
No, I don't at all. I don't at all. I don't mind being right.
Big dog. Talk to me, big dog.
But listen, I go back to June. You were here with me and Braylon back when it was the E&E, and I said we broke down that schedule. I'm 6-0, KG.
I guess
6-0 on the season.
I guess. Go home, you fucking maniac.
But mad out there.
No, I mean, you got to give it up to the Chiefs, man. They are the pride of the NFL. They have been champions upon champions upon champions for a reason, and you got to give them credit for that. And they came in, they shut me up for sure, because all week I was saying, the Lions' physical style, I don't know if this iteration of the Chiefs will be able to withstand that. And I think for a half I was kind of proven correct, but then after that,
they looked like the better team through the first half.
No, for sure.
I believe that.
Oh, well, you talking about
that. The Lions.
Yeah, okay.
The Lions
Just
in the first half. I was not worried about the second
Yeah,
half.
just verifying. But no, first half, they kind of came out and dictated how they wanted to play the game. You know, they were able to get the rush started early. They were able to get J-Mo involved early. And you saw this offense in spurts kind of work today. I don't want to say it was just a complete failure on offense. I do understand they only put up, 17 points. I know it's not something we used to as Lions fans. Anything under 40 and we over here bitching. But, you know, I think that at times they did good. I think it really came defensively, man. Once the defense it kind of got away from them, that's when you really saw this game start to fold. And then once you get the Lions in a position to where Jared Goff has to just drop back and pass more than what we want him to, or at the rate we want him to, that's normally when you see the Lions begin to make mistakes later on in the game. So, I mean, credit the Chiefs, man. They made adjustments. They had a really good game plan coming in. Like you said, they were able to beat us on, you know, the sides of the field, pretty much scheming a lot of plays up to get space, a lot of pick style plays that they ran.
And dunk and dink
but
and dunk.
That's what you see from the Chiefs, though. This is what they do. This ain't the high-flying Tyreek Hill offense that they once were. This iteration of the Chiefs can beat you in this manner by just dinking and dunking down the field, quick screens, you know, plays of that nature. Travis Kelce ain't the downfield tight end that he used to be. So.
Did they write the script on how to beat the Detroit Lions defense?
Now,
obviously,
I'm not ready to say
no
that.
Terrion Arnold and some
like
other
all
key
the
pieces.
injuries, bro.
But honestly, like, it really looked like a great way to attack this Detroit Lions defense because you didn't give we don't have a tremendous pass rush, but if you have any kind of coverage downfield, our pass rush will get to you.
Yeah.
They were just taking such quick shots through that dinking and dunking that we never had time to develop our pass rush.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no pass rush today outside of a really great punch out on that forced fumble sack.
No, I mean, they were able to get home at times, but the problem with Patrick Mahomes is if you miss that sack, it's a pretty good chance he's going to make that play. And we did see a couple players get home, but was just not able to get that wrap up. And you can't do that against Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the best in the game.
Big difference, though, I thought. Like today, I thought our offensive line had a lot of miscues.
No, for sure.
A lot of miscues.
I mean, Christian Mahogany had a tough day at the office, but you're going against Chris Jones and say what you want about him. I know the KC fans kind of got on him last week for pretty much standing and taking a play off, as we like to say. But you got to give him credit, bro. He was able to really get in there and make Christian Mahogany work for everything that he had going, man. That offensive line had trouble, but most teams – like they game plan this way. When you are able to get pressure up the middle on the Lions, that's normally when you see Jared Goff get a little out of character. You want to get him scrambling. You want to get him out of the pocket and make him make throws on the run because that's not his strong suit. And you see a lot of teams utilize this. So the offensive line wasn't able to win this battle, but I'm not worried about them going forward long term. They've won more battles to this point now to where I have confidence in them to right the ship, look at the film, and come back better next week.
Well, I should back up a little bit and remind you this is the Woodward Lions post-game show. My name is Anson. This is KG, but we got some help here. We got Jeff Walker. We got Haley.
Shout out.
I know you guys got a chance to watch the game. Where were you at before this game with the Lions? Did you guys think they were going to win? And where are you afterwards? Are you worried or not? Jeff, we'll start with you. Actually, no. Fuck that. Ladies first. Excuse me. Right. Haley, how do you feel about – did you feel this team was going to win coming in today? Did you think this was a Lions victory?
We talked about it quite a bit previously in their last game, but I definitely still knew that Kansas City would be quite a bit of competition, but I was kind of disappointed to see the performance in the offensive line, and especially in that defensive line. I feel like from that game, what I grasped was that Kansas City has stronger, more physically dominant players. But I think that that's very situational at the same time.
It sure felt that way today. They won the battle of the trenches, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so afterwards, is this reason for concern? Are you worried about this team after this?
I don't know if fully worried is the best way to describe it, but even last week, I was still kind of concerned with the performance towards the end of the game. I was like, should the defensive line be a concern coming up with Kansas City? And I feel like that last game showed that it should be a concern. Not that the defense is bad by any means. Like, it's better than the offense. But I guess more so on both sides of the ball, we should be working on it, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to work on, including health. Now, Jeff, where are you at with this team? You thought this was the W coming in. I know you had a lot of different parlays that were all Lions positive. I know some of them hit for you, but where were you before? Where are you at now after with this Lions team?
Yeah, so, I mean, before this game, of course, I thought that Lions would come out here and physically dominate, this game. I was actually very disappointed in watching this game and just the offensive play calling. It seemed like we were trying to work behind the line of scrimmage a lot, which kind of put us in bad situations. We want to try to avoid those 2nd and long, 3rd and long. I mean, those are positions that you just can't put Jared Goff in.
Yeah. Especially
with a banged up offensive line. Dan Skipper out there, who I think he held his own against a pretty good defense. I mean, this it's one loss. There's nothing to overreact about. This is, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're defending, they're three times Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Three
put respect on them.
I mean, like, we can't just come out here and, act like, they just got beat by the Carolina Panthers or, by the Las Vegas Raiders or something. I mean, like.
So not worried.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried at all. I mean, I feel like this team will get back on track. They do have to get healthier. That's one thing that I seen that it did impact
familiar
the game.
Story, man.
It did impact the game. Not having your physical corners out there, Taron Arnold,
It
DJ
felt like
Reed.
that was the point of the attack for the Kansas City offense. Something they schemed for all week. Shout out intern Scott, you see in the back there. 2 of our interns holding it down for us this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, pretty much a nightmare for Michigan sport fans as a whole.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. I know Haley was here for the Michigan debacle yesterday, which I was napping and I woke up. Wasn't terrible news for me.
I bet you were.
But, things started off poorly. Obviously, we had the 6-hour stream. Nick Koloff, our Tigers insider. Hopefully, his blood pressure has come back down.
Oh, no, it hasn't.
A record-paced postseason MLB game that, unfortunately, the Tigers came out on the wrong side of, but still, it's been a hell of a weekend here for everybody. Woodward Sports, we appreciate everybody that's in the chat. We're going to catch up with some of these super chats. Keep them coming in. Did we get that phone number out to them?
Oh, I will. And shout out to Angelo with the skull chants in there. Quite weird that we have Viking fans in our chats right now.
Hey, Vikings got to root about something, man. And listen,
we're
that team now that when we lose, they root about them. Let's catch up real quick. Bam, Bam, not worried, just pissed. Old boy on the left was wrong. We weren't supposed to lose. Just have no secondary injuries, ladies. Fun facts. Good night. I guess I'm old boy on his left, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, man, listen. I'm just the cornbread and Kool-Aid is running dry and thin in my blood at this point. And it's not to say that I don't hope and want them to win. And I got it saved on here, but I will say it right now. And I said this in June. This was a preview of the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. And the narrative of, Pat Mahomes went 2-3 to start the season and makes it back to the Super Bowl for a 5th time to chase his 4th ring. That story's there. I think the Lions are on that pace and that path where this type of game doesn't phase them. It shouldn't phase the fan base.
No, absolutely.
They are going to get better and learn what their deficiencies are. Like the response after this game, I feel, is going to be so similar. It'll be the same as what we did right after the Packers handed it to us.
I'm sorry, when was the last time we lost back-to-back? I hate to be that guy, but
do it, man, because this team loves revenge. They don't lose back-to-back. Talk to him.
No, real quick before I talk to him, 313-552-6322 is the Woodward Sports line. We will be taking calls in the second hour, so make sure you get your ringing in.
Maybe even sooner.
Yeah, maybe
Put
even
these
sooner.
people to bed. Let's go.
Yeah, I know, right? For real. But 313-552-6322. But Anson, once again, say what you were saying again.
What were we talking about? Shout out Mad Packs.
No, big shout
out D-Mac. Shout out Sun Cruiser. And shout out Buddies, because I don't know where I'd be at without that Buddies right now. What were we talking about here? We were talking about this game, and don't even remember.
You're right.
Shout out Mad Packs.
You're right.
Haley, Jeff Walker, Scott, somebody help us out here.
Damn.
Yeah, it's okay. It was a trap. Coaching masterclass.
Well, let's talk about the defense.
Just coming out. Okay, we're going back to the Packers. The Packers game, this feels like I think somebody said it in the chat during the third quarter of the watch party. Shout out to the Heavy, Spencer, and Easy. I hope they're getting home safe. But he said it felt just like the Packers game. And some people said no. I look back at it now and miscues all over the offensive line.
Yeah.
Offensive line just kept making mistakes. You saw early pressure from Chris Jones, whether it was somebody just getting beat or whether it was a miscommunication. The offensive line didn't look anywhere near as complete as they did last week when we thought they were going to be a mess.
Yeah, and whenever the Lions can't run the football, you already know that's a sign of trouble. That's like the lifeblood of this team. So the fact that you had very modest performances from Gibbs, especially considering the start that he got off to a really good start. You really thought that this was going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs type of night. Wasn't able to do that. But, just the run game was not able to work, and that kind of takes away everything else, man. But I did think the offensive line looked good in some pass pro tonight because they were just continuously getting blitzed and blitzed and blitzed over and over again. So you got to give them credit, but you're not going to win every matchup like that, and that's what you saw over the course of the game. Like, these younger guys just get tired,
but
then veterans
it felt
take
like
advantage.
The Green Bay game. Like, there was just guys busting up through the middle early. Like, there wasn't even a second or two of protection in a lot of crucial downs.
No, and I can agree with that part, but I still don't think it was as bad as Green Bay because in Green Bay,
not as bad, but it reminds you a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah.
And I already know your answer, but you think this team bounces back in a big way from this? Because I see a bunch of people in the chat right now, and we appreciate you. Smash that like button. Let's get us to 100, and we'll get 200 after that. Get the super chats in as well. But they're talking about Tampa Bay. You know, we had a beautiful opportunity to set up this Monday night game here at Ford Field between 2-5-1 teams. We dripped down to 4-2, still at top of the NFC North. But now people are worried about Baker Mayfield. And hey, that's your boy right there.
No,
he's
Baker.
on pace for an MVP season right now. How do you feel about this team hosting Baker Mayfield in the 501 box and being able to right the ship right now?
No, it's going to be a challenge for sure. But once again, you don't get worried because when you watch this game, to me, there was things there that was still Lions football. Your offense did work to a degree. You were able to have long drives, get down the field, but it didn't result in points. And that is a problem. That's something that you got to have. You can't have Amon-Ra St. Brown dropping passes like the one he dropped tonight. And normally he doesn't drop them. You know, you try not to give him slack for that, but that drop pass ended up being very, very crucial in this game.
At the end of the second quarter there?
No, absolutely. Yeah. So you can't make those type of mistakes.
Kind of felt like he went to Goff after that and said, just keep throwing it to me.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty dominant.
He got his
after
get back, especially because he was really instrumental in the scoring drive for the Lions offense in that third quarter, but it would turn out to be their last one. But, yeah, you got to give them credit for going out there and still being able to execute to a certain degree, but you can't make those type of mistakes when you go against a very, very good defense in the Buccaneers. Now, when you talk about Tampa Bay, it's crazy, bro. The way Baker keeps playing right now is phenomenal. He's been the lifeblood for this team. However, the injuries are really starting to catch up with them. I mean, the injuries are piling up. Emeka Egbuka got hurt in this game as well. Don't know if it's anything serious, but you keep seeing things with this team, and it's like, okay, they look good, and, you know, they can take it down to the wire, and it's exciting, but how long can they really thrive on that type of football? So if the Lions, you know, go back to the drawing board, look at the film, realize the mistakes that they made in this game, and you know they'll be able to do that. I think they look pretty sound, you know, coming back home against the Buccaneers because they need some of that hometown cooking, man, right before the bye week.
107 votes in the poll, 70 likes in the stream. You guys got to
get it up.
You guys got to correct that. I don't want to glance over the Kansas City Chiefs game. Obviously, that's what we just watched. There's just not a whole lot of takeaways that I'm too worried about in this game because I feel, again, like they got outfoxed. Andy Reid understood how to beat this Lions team, And I think that it's the first time that they really experienced what they experienced on both sides of the ball. They need that, just like they needed it in Green Bay, and they adjusted after the fact.
Yeah.
I guess going back to this Green Bay experience, I'm looking at some people here in the chat. Some people are disagreeing with you about the run game. Some people feel like they abandoned it, something that I have to largely agree with.
But when you get behind, it's like...
Yeah, but they weren't really behind. This was something that was working in the first half, and they were never really out of the game in the second half. I mean, it was a 3, 7, and 10-point game largely in the second half, and you have an opportunity where David Montgomery sees 4 touches on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, I think Jahmyr Gibbs probably got, 7 or 8 touches just in that first series rushing the ball, but... Somebody in the chat here, he's absolutely right. We went away from Monty, 4 touches. He's eating 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And then you get the 2 catches that he went for 37. This felt like a Monty game where Haley's talking about the physicality of the Chiefs. They did look more physical. They did look more dominant in the trenches today. That's the time you dial up some Monty, right?
Yeah, you would think so, man. And he was having a pretty good game, so... I don't know, man. I just feel like once they got down and then you just saw how they game planned for the Lions, bro, especially in that second half, being able to make adjustments. And there were times where the Lions, because they kept bringing pressure, so the Lions tried to beat that by getting some quick plays off. You saw a lot of screens being called, and a lot of them didn't work, and that was the reason why. They were trying to counter how fast they were able to get pressure and get home, but just the execution just was not there offensively. But that's kind of why I felt like they went away from the run game. You could be right. They could have gave it to Monty more, but I just think over the course of this game, your defense wasn't helping you out. So the offense was going to have to, kind of pick up the slack in a lot of ways. So I'm not mad at them wanting to get the ball downfield, but it's just one of those things, man. If you can't get that run game going, once again, that is a good way to beat this Detroit Lions team.
You said execution. I think that word was perfect for what we saw out of the Chiefs today.
Yeah.
They just executed very, very well. 26 first downs to the Lions, 18, had 10 more plays run than they did, had nearly 100 extra yards than they did.
Yeah.
They just didn't make mistakes. They had the one strip sack, obviously. Great move out of Hutch at that point. But this whole matchup today, I just felt like the Lions never got to show who they were. This game was taken away from them in a coaching standpoint, I think. And you saw it a little bit in the first half, and it kind of felt like these other games have, like, okay, Lions are just going to roll this team in the second half.
Yeah.
But what the Chiefs did to this Lions team, both defensively, but I think even more importantly offensively, they just did even more efficiently in that second half. And it was crush their will. I mean, 4 yards after 6 yards after screen, after Mahomes scramble.
Yeah.
They had our number, and I really think that a lot of that comes down to just how depleted we are in that secondary and how, like, you don't have a Meek and you don't have DJ on the edge making those tackles that we saw them making the first 3-4 weeks of this season. Those guys are so good on the edges. Lions just didn't have it on the edges today.
No, they did not. And I see a lot of people in the chat also talking about the refs and the calls. Like,
we're getting there.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys.
Right,
that's
bet.
a whole conversation on its own. I want to finish this conversation just basically about the execution, because this team out-executed us. They out-coached us.
Yeah.
Out-foxed us, as I'll say. But there's some other big-time factors that a bunch of us talked about during the week for this game. And honestly, we'll just put the whole offensive line, defensive line execution conversation to rest, because you're saying it, man. They're all talking about the refs. Not one flag thrown on KC. Well, there was one, but we didn't accept it. So in the books, there's no penalties on the Kansas City Chiefs, and there was some weird stuff. How different do you think this game goes if Jared Goff is granted that receiving touchdown to start things off?
That it turned out to be everything in this game, man. I think the Lions had the momentum at that point, and the fact that they said he wasn't set, like, it was kind of a weird rule, one that we don't see often, but it is what it is, man. I mean, the Lions have to play above.
Do we have an
the
official
referees.
ruling on that one?
Yeah, I thought it was a touchdown, but
No, but like why they threw the flag 17 minutes later?
yeah, because
Four
they
conversations later.
wanted to review it, and then after they reviewed it, they realized
Somebody in the
that
chat,
it was
give
an
us-
illegal
give us-
motion. It was
On
illegal.
Jared Goff?
Yeah, illegal formation. That's what it was.
Illegal
formation. Yeah.
I need to know like an official ruling. I know somebody's out there. Give it to us in the chat. But
But
keep
what they
going.
were saying was, Goff, you're supposed to, if you like
he never got
qualify
set
as a
under the center.
yeah,
or
if
what?
you qualify as a quarterback, you have to stop at a certain point after the motion in order to
you
get.
can't keep running in motion.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I
that's what it was like. But it's some weird rule. Like I said, we don't see that often. But that touchdown being taken off of the board turned out to be
Simo
very,
says you
very
don't
big.
run a trick play there anyway. That was stupid.
Nah, because it worked.
That's
I
what he
mean,
says.
Listen, shout out to Simo. Good people in the chat, man. But I just really think the play worked at the end of the day. It got called back. It is what it is.
It's
It
not
got called
reviewable.
back on a technicality.
Not reviewable.
Yeah, and it's not reviewable, even though they reviewed it. It's like the weirdest shit ever. They essentially threw a late flag and picked it up. So it is what it is. But the Lions have to play above the rest, is like the point I was trying to get to. The Lions, at this point, I don't want to put every game on the referees. I don't agree with the officiating in this game, but I don't think it was enough that you can say it cost the Lions the game. The Lions just had a lot of opportunities that they had miscues on, and it ultimately came to bite them. And once it piled up and your defense couldn't get stops, it makes it that much harder for your offense to capitalize. So
How many penalties do you think the Lions had?
you said they only had one called on them?
No. How many Lions penalties do you think?
Oh,
the
how
Lions
many
called
they
on
had?
them?
About 8, 7,
Only
8.
4 actually.
Oh, only 4.
Four
Okay.
for 38 yards. Some big ones, some really big moment like miscues for the Lions.
Yeah.
That Amon-Ra drop on that third down that you mentioned earlier, late in the second quarter, that switched things over, which allowed them to go down and score a touchdown. I thought the Lions were just going to grind that clock out and get some sort of score, whether they got in the end zone or not.
Yeah.
So uncharacteristic. Obviously, he came out and responded after that, but that just kind of felt like the way the whole day was going to go.
Yeah.
They took us out of our element. I mean, obviously, Arrowhead, nobody's in their element there.
Yes.
But
Tough place.
I think the coaching staff's got to take a lot from this one. Obviously, the Lions need to get healthy on it, but I do want to talk real quick about that Jared Goff catch, though. We glanced over it.
Thank God he
He
caught it.
wrestled that bitch away from the corner over there and just powered. Like he looked like a tight end on that one.
I mean, yeah, but he bobbled it at first, and thank God that he was able to make that catch. It turned out not to matter, but I just thought that the way they were able to get that play off was pretty amazing, man. And who say Johnny Moe don't got tricks in the bag?
Yeah,
this is why we got
too many tricks today.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I felt like at points they weren't aggressive enough. Maybe they could have been a little more aggressive
I would
in
have
trying to
liked
get
to
the ball
have seen the
downfield.
trickery and stuff that the aggressive play calling offensively that they had in the first half in the second half.
Yeah.
I'd rather them be more conservative in the first half and run the ball down their damn throats.
Right. And they were able to get the run game working, but it just, like I said, in that second half, they made adjustments, got taken away like that, bro. So these games happen in the NFL, man. I'm not really worried about this Lions team. You got to be able to just shake it off. It's an AFC opponent at the end of the day, so it doesn't really interrupt what we got going on over here, which is a good thing, but it's not one that you wanted to see, man, especially in the fashion that it happened, because once the mistakes started to pile up, the Lions were just kind of taken out of this game, man.
Yeah. Absence of Terrion Arnold. I thought he was not good.
Oh, well, this is what y'all wanted, right? He was supposed to be on the bench even if he
would've
was
looked really
playing,
good
so.
on the edges today, man.
No, I mean, you could have got all the help that you could get out there, because once again, these injuries, you saw Kirby go out for a few plays as well. You hope he's okay going forward, still kind of dealing with that knee injury. But yeah, the injuries are starting to pile up for this defense, man. And I know certain people hate this term. Shout out to Sean Baligan. Next man up, man. And you kind of get tired of that. I'm not ready to say it's to the point of last year, but you are in a spot to where you're getting a lot of bad injuries at one time. So, Branch was questionable. Kirby was questionable coming in. They were still able to play. So I'm not, they got to be able to find ways to stay on the field, and hopefully they can do that going forward.
Lions fans are wild.
Yeah, man.
I was just looking
I swear they got to be
trolling.
trolling at points,
Oh,
bro.
it's crazy. So, I get 3 letters attached to me a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
you
trying
play
to call
that role
this
sometimes.
I'm not trying to call this an SOL loss.
Come
when
on,
you're
dog.
4-1 and you lose on the road to the guys that have won 3 championships out of the last 5 years, is that SOL?
No.
Is this a good sign of SOL?
No, you playing, right? It
I'm being serious because, like,
the
no,
Mad
listen,
Pats.
I'm the first person to push the SOL because, again, I need to see him in the Super Bowl. Show me something you haven't seen.
How many-
But this is not the loss where you pull those 3 letters out. I don't think.
This is what we
This
do
isn't
after
going out
losses.
there
It's just SOL.
and dumping one to Tennessee, Cam Ward, something like that. This is Pat Mahomes.
We not doing the SOL thing.
Tell him.
Yeah, what?
I'm not with them on this one.
All right, good.
I'm not
I'm just
with them
making
on
sure.
this
I'm
one.
just
You know,
making
you
sure.
think I would be. I'm not.
I'm just making sure. But you did
No.
call this. You did. You manifested this.
Well, listen, they're going to lose 5 games this year.
Yeah,
And you got to
that's true.
figure out where they're going to be. Where does the NFL want these fucking wins and losses at? They sure don't want the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes going 2-4.
Yeah.
And they don't want a primetime night where the end of the game you got to talk about, oh, Pat Mahomes, the GOAT, is 2-4 now. No. You want him out there. I mean, man, if they had a turkey leg for him right now, he'd be eating it.
No, that's a fact. But, I mean, it is what it is, bro. But we not doing the SOL thing. I mean, that's really only you bringing that up.
No, it was the chat.
They trolling, bro. No way.
No, I'm telling you, whoever that was.
Listen, y'all. I keep telling
No,
y'all.
he said no lid. SOL, find a way to lose. This was SOL.
Listen, I keep telling
Sounds
y'all.
pretty fucking serious.
I keep telling y'all, SOL is organizational. This is not a SOL franchise anymore. It's okay. You can have losses on a good NFC team. It's okay. Relax.
Mahomes is a stud in the chat here.
Relax. But, hey.
And that's the thing.
That's
You
why
can't be
Mahomes
that
get paid
mad
the big
about
bucks.
it, man. Like, he looked really good today. And this team that was basically written off after a week 1 loss and then a couple more losses, this team's only gotten better. And, they get a guy named Rashee Rice next week. You worried about Rashee Rice?
I mean, who wouldn't be worried about Rashee Rice? I mean, before that injury, who did he look like besides the best receiver in football before he?
Yeah, he was
before he got
up there for
his
sure.
ACL torn apart by his own teammate.
Yeah.
He looks like a top 10 offensive threat at the wide receiver position. He's obviously coming off a pretty horrific injury. Had time to get back from it, but then you get suspension. It's kind of one of those, as a fantasy player, I never want a guy in my lineup after he comes back from being hurt.
You're right.
I love him in my lineup, as we saw from Addison, his first week, Jordan Addison. You want him back after the suspension. This is a little bit of both. But I think Rashee is going to help this team and their run game so much. I was glad we didn't see more Brashad Smith, but you kind of touched on the fact earlier. The run game got going for them, and that's something that they've lacked all season long.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, older guy, gets the system. That's why he's there. Pacheco kind of feels like the same thing now. Not an older guy, but a vet that coming off a big injury last year as well. Brashard Smith, we saw him just a couple of touches, but I think that their backfield is a 3-headed, not a beast, but they've got 3 pieces there. You get Rashee Rice back. This team, I don't know why anybody was counting them out. I heard people talking about them not making the playoffs. This is the Chiefs.
I mean, the record was the record, though, and we needed to see it.
Yeah.
Like, albeit.
We saw it
need to see
tonight.
No, we definitely saw it tonight.
I think they beat the best team in the NFL tonight.
No, I think so, too. And you got to give him credit because Xavier Worthy, bro, they have really started to work him into the game plan more. He looks a lot more comfortable than he did last year.
Yeah.
So I think
A lot more routes in that tree now.
No, absolutely, man. And for him to be able to hold down wide receiver run while Rashee was gone, it's going to make them a pretty dangerous team coming down the
This
stretch.
kind of
man.
feels like the other side of the game a few years ago. Brian Branch, rookie, debut, pick 6,
Yeah.
game clincher, basically 21-20. We go to Arrowhead and we win that game. That was where Detroit fans were like, we didn't know where we stood, where was our level. And being able to go out and win that game kind of gave us all that confidence after the great finish in the 2021 season. Now, this is the same type of deal that we're looking at with KC. Like, KC's fan base was nervous. And everybody talking about this being the best team in the NFL and bringing the two together, like, everything's kind of flipped. So as much as Lion fans are worried about what happened today, we're still 4-2. We're still kings of the North. We have it by ourselves. And I'm telling you, Kansas City fans, I mean, yeah, they're homers. They thought they were going to win it, but they were scared. And I think that A lot has flipped at this point because that team's older. And as much as I'm reading here in the chat, you have to be so damn encouraged by where this BNL franchise is. I said it.
You better have.
You better
have.
You got to talk to them, man.
I'm
Calm them down. They're on the limbs right now.
I'm watching you, big dog. I'm watching you. That
I'm
SOL,
been calling. I
bro.
think that this is their year. They took the stepping stones. They got a little further than we expected them, losing to San Francisco last year. They don't get as far as they should. They get it now.
No, you can tell it's a mentality with this Lions team, the way they go out and handle their business each and every week. And listen, there's going to be duds in there, unfortunately. You lose games in the NFL. It is a week-to-week league, and that's why we need to treat this team as such, man. But I hold them to a certain standard to where, if they give a game like this, next game they're going to come out just that much with that much more fire every time. And I've been proven right on that. Like I said, back-to-back losses, almost 3 years of that. That is an insane stat.
It really is.
It really
Resilience,
is.
man. Grit.
No, you got to give it up to them. But no, this Lions team will be fine, bro. I know I say that every post-game show. But until further notice, they will be fine. And once again, we are the cream of the crop of the NFC. And you got a chance to prove it next week because this Bucs team, they are no joke. And you need to come right. Although you at home, you better come correct because this can turn into another shootout. And if it does, how does that Lions offense fare? We know them to be a high-flying, high-scoring offense. But if you come out and you lay an egg against the Bucs, it's going to look ugly.
If I read this, everybody's going to think it comes from me. Guntaka, trade Hutch, get picks, and draft a good secondary. I thought that we drafted a good secondary.
Some of y'all trolling, bro. I'm not falling for
I
the
thought
bait
we
anymore.
already drafted a good secondary. I mean, I know they're hurt right now, but it's crazy. All right, I'm going to drop one more question for you guys, and KG's going to be surprised because he's going to think.
I know it's not the JMO question. I know that. Yeah. Where it's at, big dog? Where it's at?
All right, so what we want to do right now, KG, if you haven't already, get that phone number out in the chat, but also speak it out there. Let's manifest some calls. Tell them the number live, and we'll also get that in the chat here. We'll talk about JMO. We're 30 minutes in here at this point, guys. We're creeping a little more than that. I want to make sure that you guys aren't up too late with us, and I want to make sure that we get some phone calls because I know there's a lot of steam to blow off out there.
Yeah, but y'all will be all right, man. Do some push-ups or something.
All right, so JMO, I actually loved the way they used him today.
Yeah.
I thought that there could have been more of it. I thought they did a lot of it early. He kind of dried up in the second half. I thought they used him really creatively in the first half. The whole offense looked strange in the second half, so I don't even know what to make of that. But what we saw early on from JMO, I want to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, no, you got to get the ball in his hands because he's electric, bro. The last couple weeks, I think the game flow just kind of dictated they go to other people. But I love JMO being a forgotten man in this offense sometimes because that speed will catch you off guard, and we already know he's a home run hitter. That is why they paid him the money. It's not so he goes out every week and he's a 100-yard receiver. They're not asking him to do that week to week. They're going out there and asking him to be a weapon, and whenever they call on him, whenever they utilize him, he needs to go out there and do that. He also looked a little bit better catching the ball today because we know he struggled with some drops.
Did have that drop at the end of the game, though.
Yo, he did.
It was a tough catch.
No, it
tough
was.
Catch.
It was. And defense was good on that. But he looked a lot better in this game. So I think he's taking some of that to heart. A good receiver always, they hate dropping passes. I know Amon-Ra is going to have nightmares about that drop he had in today's game. But no.
You saw it on the sideline.
Oh, he was
mid-game.
heated, bro. He was hot.
Very hot.
But no, he's going to come back and be on the tear next week. But JMO, you got to give him credit, bro. He never hangs his head down. He's always involved in running plays. His downfield blocking is really good for somebody with a wiry frame like him. I love JMO, bro. You already know I'm a cape for JMO every time, but he does the right things. I ain't just caping for no reason. This kid is everything that they paid him to be, and you will get games like this eventually to where you get the JMO moments. We get the, 3 catches for 100-some yards.
I want to see the manufactured touches.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what he can do. He should be getting, at the very least, 6 ops per game. And when I say ops, I mean targets.
Yeah, I get
with carries. We're just we're seeing the feast or famine from him, and there has to be a level of consistency to keep him engaged on a weekly basis, to keep that option open that you're threatening defensive coordinators as well as Jared Goff develops that familiarity and confidence to be able to go to, because you don't see Goff go to him late in games. And at this point, I think, if you're the Chiefs and you're in the midst of that last drive or last couple drives, blanket Amon-Ra, make Laporta beat us, make somebody else beat us, and obviously Laporta with an unbelievable catch, which we should talk about that catch at some point too.
Oh man!
But otherwise,
catch.
If we're not out in the lead, I guess I don't really know what our identity is coming and playing from behind, because it always just feels like it has to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. It has to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, and until you can develop that second clutch receiving weapon, I'm a little worried about situations like this that we saw on the road tonight.
No, but that second weapon is interchangeable. Sometimes it's Sam Laporta. Sometimes it is J-Mo. Sometimes it's Khalif Raymond. Like Tesla, it will eventually be Tesla. He didn't really get any targets. Sorry about that, Jeff. He didn't really get no targets about that. No, that's a stinger over there for him. But it is what it is, man. They just weren't able to execute today. And it's funny that you bring up the J-Mo talk. The last 2 weeks you told me that this was more on J-Mo not being able to make plays. What you're telling me now is that maybe he's not
it was
being
on J-Mo.
No.
He got one target last week.
I said
when I
said that to you,
I said, is he earning his check?
When I said that to you, that's what you answered back with.
How much per target?
But once again, when I said that, that's what you answered back with. Now this week, you're telling me it's more scheming right now.
He's still on a rookie deal this year. So I can't get mad at him for one target.
Yeah, I know. What a concept.
I'm calling for more targets. I told you you'd be like, who the hell is this guy right now? Shout out Indy Line with the $1 super chat and nothing alongside it. We appreciate the support and you being here. Indy Line again, $5 more this time. He says, TD overturn, St. Brown drop, phantom PI call on third against Kelsey. Hey, if you guys were here for the Braylon show on Friday, I told you that this was going to happen. I told you that Kansas City was going to win. And I told you there was going to be a bunch of weird calls. I told you it was going to be a lopsided number in terms of penalties versus both teams. We laughed about it. That Jared Goff play is going to be known as the Kansas City rule, going forward. And so this is one of those games. If you're 22, you're going to have there's no doubt in your mind that the Lions are winning this game. After the way they've looked the last 4 weeks, there's no doubt in your mind. Once you get twice that age, hell, you get to 66, this is the trap game that as a Lions fan, you can identify. As sure as that Jared Goff 16 sometimes confuses me, and I see it Chuck Long. Oh my God, is that Chuck Long? No, the Lions, they dropped the ball today.
They did.
But I don't think that this was the SOL loss.
Not at all, man.
No, I think that this is a situation where you have the best quarterback we've seen, top 3 ever, but top guys since we've seen Brady leave the game. You have one of the best coaches of all time, and you have a Lions team that's learning how to win. You have to lose games like this in order to become a champion.
No, and I would credit to say they haven't won it at the biggest stage, but I would say that they do know how to win at this point. This has been almost 4 years of this program now to where they've really just been clicking, and I have no doubt. I just hold this team to a different standard. Sometimes in fandom, we still get caught in that SOL pattern to where we get scared about teams like the Chiefs, Super Bowl champion, superstar Patrick Mahomes coming in, and he was able to make plays on you today. It's okay. Like, I don't want this to revert back to, this team is SOL, because they're above that now. You did have a dud in there. Listen, they get paid too. Sometimes in this league, you're going to drop games like this, and like you you said, this was the classic script for a trap game. And if you've watched the NFL enough, normally this is a spot for a trap game. Come on, they don't want Patrick Mahomes. They want this to be a narrative game for him going forward, and they got it tonight. That's why you kind of saw the disparity in terms of the flags.
Sure.
But the Lions aren't at that level yet to where the refs are just going to show you love continuously. But they've played to a point now to where the referees don't matter. That's why I don't like to harp on, games like this in which, the calls were spotty. I give you that. But once again, the Lions just did not go out there and play good enough for a whole game to be able to overcome the refs, man.
If I grant amnesty for the Green Bay game, and you look back at this game, and you go back to the Bills' loss, and you go back to the Redskins' loss.
Yeah.
The Bills just looked like on a different level than us in that game, right? And then the Redskins loss, we just shot ourselves in the foot over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, you look at this game right now that we watched tonight, I don't feel like we watched a team that was better than us. And I don't feel like we beat ourselves either. I think this is simply being outfoxed.
Yeah.
Period.
I would agree.
That's what it comes out to. KG, get that number out to everybody. He's going to dig that number up for you guys. We're going to start opening the lines up here in just a moment. I want to shout out some of our great sponsors. Mad Packs, obviously taking care of us at halftime. Sun Cruiser, taking care of us all game. And Buddy's Pizza with that phenomenal U of M and MSU curated pizzas.
Battle of the Houses.
Yeah, the Battle of the Houses, as they're calling it. And then, listen, Gillies, that's where we'll be on Monday night.
Yes, sir.
Monday night.
Back in prime time.
Second best pregame will be there. And then Monday night, we will be at Gillies for the watch party. Come on down and join us. It's going to be a packed house, so I would recommend getting there early, catch the game with the heavyweights, and then KG and I will be here. We'll have young Justin back in the house.
Shout out.
And, of course, the lovely Haley will be joining us as well. And maybe we'll get some more intern love out of these young guys. They've been fantastic all week long, especially this weekend. Do we have that number on hand?
Yes, we do. 313-552-6322. Jeff, if you can pin that to the chat.
Say it one more time for us, KG.
313-552-6322.
6322. You guys heard it. Listen, we're going to send KG over to the booth here, and he's going to get us set up for calls in just a moment. KG,
if you say SOL, you might get hung up on. I'm just letting you know right now.
KG, give us your final synopsis on this thing. Obviously, we're going to talk to you more over in the booth there, and we'll talk a little bit more about last week. But what's your or next week? What is your lasting impression about what happened here today? If you can just sum it up in kind of one feeling.
One feeling. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be one word, man. You just
Yeah,
give me a whole feeling. Like, I mean, did you feel that we got beat? Did you agree with me on the outfox?
I want to put this in a good way because, I do agree with you. They got outplayed in a lot of ways, especially in the second half. I think that's where it just really came apart for this team. Defensively, you kind of got punched in the mouth. I think defensively, they have a few more questions to answer more than offensively, if that makes sense. Because you do have all these injuries that are occurring at one time right now. And Kelvin Shepard, to this point, hasn't really been put in this position. Yes, you've had injuries of Davenport and, singular players here and there, but now it's starting to snowball to a certain degree. Once again, I don't think it's last year, so let's kind of slow down on that. You will be getting some reinforcements back. Aleem is looming, y'all. He is on the way back. I can't wait to get that guy back in this locker room.
TA'd be good to get back?
No, TA, he's probably eligible to play in the next week or two here. Especially you're coming upon a bye week as well, so you're going to have extra time to get guys rest. So I think that's the biggest thing is let's just get healthy. This was a game in which you figured some things out. Listen, Dan Campbell says it even in wins. They got some things to clean up. And offensively, I think Johnny Moe can go back to the drawing board a little bit too. Offensive line, I think the young guys kind of got beat more than the veterans did.
Outfoxed.
Yeah, they got outfoxed, as my boy
Chris Jones looked really, really clever today.
Yeah, but no, it's a learning experience game.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Joshua Black with the $2 super chat, bro. When will we have a pass rush like Tampa. Let's go ahead and get those phone calls set up there. And we got a couple more super chats here. I hope we see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think that is the matchup that we're going to see. Been calling it since summer. Giovanni Lyons 2 with a $2 super chat. We will lose 2 in a row with a question mark. Baker is on fire. You already heard, KG. This is a revenge-based team. They have, what was the last time they lost 2 regular season games in a row? It's not in their DNA. In fact, they'll be hosting this game from Ford Field. That crowd will be turned the hell up Monday night, prime time. I expect great things out of this team. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and read out that phone number. Give us a call, 313-552-6322. We'll be taking your calls live here. That guy, Mike, in with a $5 super chat. Dan Campbell bench presses redwood trees every morning before breakfast with a bacon emoji and a big old pine tree. Love that. Keep those super chats coming in. We're 7 likes away from hitting 150. I know J-Dub over here, Jeff Walker, will take care of us on those likes. Keep it up there. Appreciate you. Get those calls in, guys, right now. KG's getting you set up, so if it is busy or it's not going through, it will be opened up here in just a moment. Next week, Tampa Bay. How you feeling about that one? I'm going to look up the line right now. Jeff Walker, tell me, are the Lions getting win number 5 at home in Ford Field Monday night next week?
I think so. I mean, this is a team that does bounce back, especially when they, find themselves in adversity. I believe that today would leave a sour taste in their mouth. And especially you're playing at home. Not to mention that the Bucs are also really banged up on their offensive side of the ball. I mean, I know Baker is playing amazing football right now. By far right now, you have to point at somebody for MVP. You're probably going to go Baker. But, Emeka Egbuka went down today with a hamstring injury, so he'll probably be questionable to go for the Lions. So, I mean, it's just going to be – this upcoming game is just going to be, the battle of who can pull out a win with a banged up team.
Banged up wide receiver core for Tampa Bay, banged up secondary for the Lions. Obviously, we know Tampa Bay might be down to Sterling Shepard and Tez Johnson as their wideouts. A rookie, Tez Johnson, actually had a nice touchdown today, but. Hey, that's the kind of matchup that you want for a Monday night matchup. I'm looking at all the games on the slate today. Jeff, I got to be honest with you. I slept through most of football today because there was 2 good games. Obviously, it's a San Francisco game against the Buccaneers. There was 1 good game in the early slate. But, man, pretty awful lineup today. I'm
not going to lie to you. The most boring game that I've watched this today, why did I get up at 9:30 in the morning to watch the Denver Broncos?
Oh, that was brutal, man.
But that
11-10, is that what it ended up? Or 13-11?
The Broncos and the Jets delivered an absolute stinker. Where were they at? I can't think of where they were. They were in
the UK.
Somewhere in the UK. They gave up
Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah, they put up a stinker in the UK. That's definitely not what the NFL was thinking, putting them there for that game. But yeah, I mean, it's you're gonna see matchups like these across the NFL where some of these games just aren't exciting.
Next week's slate is pretty excellent, highlighted by a 4-2 Lions team hosting a 5-1 NFC leading Tampa Bay Bucs team. So that one, I think everybody around the nation is going to have their eyes to that. Would have loved to see 5-1 versus 5-1. KG, how are we looking at that? Those phone calls over there? We ready?
Just give me a second, trying to get the lines working.
Give me a second as well here. Jeff, give me a prediction, Tampa Bay Lions Monday night.
I got the Lions winning. I'm going to say the Lions win 28-24. Lions victory at home, Monday Night Football against Baker Mayfield and the banged-up Bucs. And then also, after that, they head into a bye, so that's going to be their chance to really get healthy, get a lot of these players back that, have really been, I really contribute a lot of today to really not having your starting corners out there, because that does make a difference. A lot of the play calls that I seen the Kansas City Chiefs, doing today with the dink and dunk passes, when you have physical corners like Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed out there,
changes everything.
Who can tackle, and you kind of seen a lot of the. I know we seen Amit get kind of like pressed off the line, and burnt by Xavier Worthy on that touchdown. I mean, we gotta hand it to, Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed. Those are two physical corners that definitely make a difference in the game.
Yeah.
You
talked about that bye week coming up. I think that bye week's going to be crucial for this team to get healthy. If we don't see Aleem in week 7, we'll certainly see him in week 9. Indy Lion in there with the super chat. Lions 44, Bucks 23. Keep those predictions coming in. Love to see them. And I think we're pretty close to queued up here with some phone calls. Once again, that number's 313-552-6322. Want to take another minute to give a huge shout out to Gold Crown, Mad Packs, Jack's Car Wash, Planet Fitness, Ven Johnson Law, of course, Sun Cruisers, and Buddy's Pizza taking great care of us this evening as well. Tomorrow morning, you know where to be. Get that coffee and start your Monday off with Sean Baligan and that morning crew. Our guy Maz will be there in that massage chair from the Massage Chair Warehouse. It will be lots of fire and brimstone from some of the Lions fans ready to jump off the bandwagon, but I promise I don't think it's time. This Lions team will hold suit and won't lose 2 games in a row Monday night. If you want to join us, that Monday night game, we will be downtown, second best for that pregame show. Join Neil and Sean there, second best right downtown, and then that watch party for the heavyweights and the postgame. KG and I, we will be at Gillies, and again, it's Monday Night Football. It's going to be a big matchup, so make sure you get down there early. How about those phone calls, KG?
Still working on it.
All right.
Let me ask you a question, Anson.
Please.
So in the chat, I know we kind of walked away from the game a little bit earlier to get set up for this post game, but there was a scuffle between Brian Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Mahomes he didn't slap hands with Mahomes or something?
Yeah, something went on where I guess there wasn't a handshake after the game, and Brian Branch did walk up to Juju Smith and knock his helmet off his head.
Really? So we might have a suspension coming.
Possibly.
I actually read
Hopefully
that in
not.
the chat about a half hour ago. Somebody was saying that he might get suspended for these actions. I had no idea what he was talking about. So it sounds like he denied the handshake at the end of the game from Pat Mahomes. Somebody from the Chiefs took exception, and then he responded in kind, huh?
I'm hoping that this is just something where the NFL is just going to fine Brian Branch, because if you lose him, along with, already banged up secondary.
You can call it Hutch. You can call it Anzo. But Brian Branch is that leader back there by action.
He's your do-everything guy.
No doubt about it.
He does everything on the field.
I'm seeing a couple different things in here. Lions fan 222, don't worry. Branch won't get suspended. A couple before that, Joe 487. Yes, Branch is out. Flat out, more like a punch. Brant might need to be suspended and get disciplined. Khalil MD. The league hates Branch already. Easy does it. Hey, they do. They hate both of our cats in the secondary, man. Both Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph, how many times can that guy get injured in a game and come back, though, for real?
I tell you what, that was some magical shot that he got when he went to the locker room, because he came back and he was...
Shout out Dr. Pierce with that secret sauce.
He was jumping around. He was moving good. I mean, before that, he could barely walk. I mean, then he goes out there and he's laying the boom. If you lose Brian Branch due to a situation like this, that's really gonna take a toll, on the secondary. Already down Terrion Arnold, DJ Reed, a couple other guys. And then, especially with Kirby Joseph already kind of dealing with a nagging knee injury that he's been dealing with all year, you can't afford to lose Brian Branch due to a situation like this after the game. the game's it was what it was, and you lost. I would love to see him just take it and just walk off the field instead of reacting to whatever Juju Smith might have said to him.
Sure, great point here though from Detroit Arrow. I mean, Mahomes taunted him on his rushing touchdown. He absolutely did, and that's in his mind, that pick six.
Yeah, you don't forget
2022 pick six from Brian Branch.
Yeah,
in Arrowhead. Mahomes didn't forget that. He said, "I wouldn't shake hands with that motherfucker either." They even showed it on the replay, and the refs didn't throw a flag for taunting. Absolute horse doo-doo. He didn't say that word. But, no, listen, Mahomes gets a free ride. He's going to get 4 to 7 extra seconds to taunt before he gets a flag. He was waiting to give it back to Brian Branch. And I think the one thing that we have not seen fully go away from this young Detroit Lions franchise is the emotional reaction that they have in big moments, even when they're on top, but certainly when they're trailing. You'll see some cracks in the armor here. This is something that you can't do in a playoff game. Because let's say the Lions won this game, but something like that happens after the game and you don't get Brian Branch the next round. Obviously, I'm speculating. I don't want that to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but certainly something to keep an eye on here as we go into midweek and hope that we have the Honey Brancher back for Monday Night Football. Steve-O, baby Anson, do you know what happened? Patrick Mahomes was trying to shake Branch's hand, and he didn't do it. Yeah, that's basically what we're hearing right now is that not only did that he not do the handshake, but then couple of Chiefs, or at least one Chief, took exception to that and then got in some fisticuffs.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Branch, I mean...
Hey, Blimpy, I feel that. SOL would be shaking Mahomes' hand. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, Brian Branch, it's hard to get mad at him for, what he did, but it's like, at that time, it's like, it's not necessary, but you love that Brian Branch plays this way. You love that he plays with that chip on his shoulder, that he doesn't have any friends in this game, because, I mean, when he's on the field, he's dialed in. He makes a lot of plays for you.
My concern with this one, though, is because Patrick Mahomes is involved, that the league levies a bigger punishment than what
right. Or because it's the
be.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, both of those. Yeah, Kansas City as well as being, Pat Mahomes. I'm a little worried about this situation, man, because it's like the only way you can beat us is if you take our guys and put them on the sideline through suspension, through injury, through what it may be. Hey, we're about an hour and 10 into this one. We're not going to go a whole lot longer because I know all you guys got to start your Mondays, start your weeks. I know these guys.
I got to start my week, too. Man.
I know. You're going to be back here early in the morning,
man.
Right?
8 a.m.
What time do you get here for the morning show with Sean Baligan and Maz?
That depends on the morning.
Yeah,
yeah, it varies.
Sometimes 7:57.
Yeah, I mean sometimes 8:30. But no, I mean it's all good, man. Nah, we got a lot to talk about, man, because this has not been a good weekend for the state of Michigan in any sense.
No, not at all.
So,
we apologize.
Yeah.
Our phones are not running correctly.
Yeah, audio
we can
interface
kind of hear you,
unplugged.
but the audio is not putting you guys back out over here. So fortunately, we're not going to be able to take those. We are going to make sure those are dialed in for Gillies on Monday
absolutely.
night. Once again, Monday pregame show. Sean and Neil, they'll be at Second Best, and then join us at Gillies for the watch party with the heavyweights. And KG and myself will be handling the postgame, and we'll be welcoming back Western Broncos finest,
yes,
Justin
sir.
Satawa back
and
into the
Michigan
fold.
fan.
Yeah,
Neil turning in his bed right now.
Haley, were you here yesterday with Justin for the Michigan game? Was he here?
No, he was not.
He was not. That's right. He's at a music festival. Shout out Mads and Justin, but whole lot of F-bombs would have been coming out of him during that game. Did you watch it last night, KG?
What?
The Michigan game.
Oh yeah, I watched that debacle.
When'd you turn it off?
On the West Coast.
Did you watch the whole thing? Did you turn it off?
No, I had to turn it off. It was
I
getting
love it
ugly.
when Corn and Blue has to turn off. Where's your affiliation going, Jeff?
Wow.
You about to lose or win some points right now?
I'm a Michigan State guy. So,
Oh, yes!
I don't know what y'all cheering for.
I mean, well, I'm not.
UCLA? He's the only guy that does that, bro.
No,
Listen, we lost by
the Rebel Alliance
Like,
takes all kinds of L's. The Rebel Alliance takes all
The
kinds of
Rebel
L's.
Alliance.
But
Here we go
eventually,
in this Star
they
Wars
blow
shit
your
again.
Death Star up. All right, then you build another one, and then we blow it up again.
We have
this ain't
something
no-
in common. We both lost to USC.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We
Yeah,
just
but who scored
points.
more? Yeah, that's right, Jeff. That's right.
Don't worry, we
going
gonna see y'all in a couple weeks. We gonna shut all that shit you doing
I
down.
think you
Don't worry
guys should
about
be
that.
more worried about that one than we are because you guys are supposed to win.
You sure about
one.
that?
No, y'all supposed to own us.
You sure
right?
about that?
No, you're supposed to smack us. In
I mean,
our
we
hometown.
have the last couple. So I
Yeah,
mean,
last couple.
I'm
Let's
just
go.
saying.
We talking about this.
I mean,
we
you
talking
had-
about
you-
this century.
You had that cigar smoking guy that got y'all a dub, but I mean, besides that, it's been pretty much Michigan this side of the decade.
I
so.
think the next guy we should sign, his name should be Johnny Smith.
Might as well, right?
I found a guy in 2009 that got fired for some malfeasance.
Yeah.
High school head coach.
Yep,
Might be
John
on the radar.
Smith,
No,
Jonathan
Johnny.
Smith. I know,
Johnny
but
Smith.
the evolution: John
Perfect,
Smith,
bro. You
Jonathan
gotta
Smith,
evolve.
now Johnny
You got to
Smith.
evolve as an institution.
Yeah, no, you do. Especially from certain people that was in your program. See, it's no need to throw shots, man. It's no need for that. But no, just a bad weekend all around, even for you green people. But we gonna see y'all in a couple weeks. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Hey, Easy does it in the chat. Tune in Monday Night Football versus 5-1 Bucks. Dressed in all black.
Dressed in
I know
all
that
black.
gets you excited.
Oh no, that's an old Plies song for back in the day. For anybody that's deep in the hip hop streets, you'll know that one right there. But
Deep in the streets.
No, they're gonna be dressed in all black and they're coming for revenge.
What's
yeah,
the
I
record
can't
in
wait.
the Blacks? Do you know?
You said what?
What's the record in the All Blacks? You know?
That's a good question. I know it's better than what it used to be.
What about the
in
Blueberries?
2000s.
What's the best
The Blueberries for
They
sure.
crushing the
They've
Blues,
won
right?
the most games in the Blueberries. I
Blueberries
believe.
are tight.
No, they are. But I love those black jerseys and those blue helmets. And you coming home, bro. And this crowd here at Ford Field.
It's just what they need.
Sheesh.
Like you get a chance at home on prime time to remind everybody, hey, it ain't no thing.
Yeah.
You don't lose 2 in a row. And then, as Jeff talked, we get that week off. And that could not come at a better time. As much as I like seeing that bye week in like week 11, week 12 sometimes,
Yeah.
man, that bye week is perfectly timed for this team.
No, better than last year. We had it week 5 almost. That
Yeah.
was so weak last year.
Yeah, we could have used that in week 13
Yeah,
or
exactly.
14 last
Having to
year.
go the rest of the
I know,
season
right?
essentially without a bye week is nuts. But no, I'm looking
and without
forward
a
to it.
defense, man.
Yeah, I know, right? But listen, all you fans that pay $10,000 for your tickets so you can go see this team next week, no, they're going to be rocking, man. Ford Field never disappoints. They need that hometown cooking too, especially with the injuries being what they are right now. You are going to get some guys back. I can't stop reiterating that. You're going to get some guys back, and hopefully this looks a lot better than it did this week because, yeah, you just got beat way too often in this game for my liking.
Haley, are you a U of M or a Michigan person?
I lean more towards Michigan, but I really don't have any affiliation towards either.
No points lost. No points
Do you have
lost.
any Michigan or Michigan State fans in your household?
Is your dad
My
a Michigan
brother
fan
went
or
to
Michigan State?
for like a semester. Everyone else went everywhere else.
But their blood has time in EL, baby.
He clean for anything, bro. he
Right?
looking, he grasping for
What day is
straws,
that
ain't
game?
he?
The 27th?
You said, yeah, I believe so. 26
All right,
or
listen,
27.
you know where we'll be?
Art and Jakes, baby.
That's right. Art and Jake's East
Turn
Lansing. We will be there for the Michigan State game, pregame, watch party, all that good stuff. Come out if you're up. If you're one of those amazing Spartans living in that beautiful village
Hey,
of
show your
East
stripes,
Lansing.
bro. Show your stripes.
All right, Haley, what do you think is going to happen Monday night here at Ford Field? Lions versus Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Give us a prediction.
I think it'll be a good game, honestly. I'm very interested to see, honestly, the performance of the Lions on both sides of the ball. I feel like I wasn't very impressed, obviously, with this game, and I wasn't really impressed with the week before towards the end of the game, even though they won. So, honestly, I want to see execution into precision and running the ball well, and I want the defense to be the Lions' defense that we know that they are.
Score prediction. Jeff, you better get that single cam on her, otherwise Chet can be pissed.
Right.
28
There it is.
to 17.
Ooh, man. I'll tell you what, though. That offense, they don't have many pieces left. No Bucky Irving. He might be back.
Yeah.
But no Godwin, no Evans.
Buka got hurt today.
If Ibuka isn't playing, I like that one a lot. Where are you at on this one? Actually, Scott, come into the booth. Give us your prediction for Tampa Bay versus Detroit, buddy.
All right, for Tampa and Detroit,
Monday night
Yes,
football,
sir.
Ford Field.
I'm picking Detroit over Tampa, 34-31.
Oh, man.
Okay.
He didn't lose any points with the chat either, man.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah.
damn sure. What about you, Jeff? Where you at?
I said before, I think this would be a 28-24 win by the Lions at home, wearing the all black unis, which they
28-24,
are
I like it.
2-1 when wearing the all black unis, with wins against Seattle and Minnesota, and the loss to Buffalo.
Digging up some facts, digging up some stats. Appreciate that out of you, J-Dub. Give me a number.
It's going to be a shootout. I mean, that's how Baker likes it.
Feels like it.
That's how Baker likes it, especially with the way the secondary looks right now. I think the Lions' offense is pissed off. They got to get in the 30s next week. 35-24, Lions victory forward down the mother effing field, man.
Going with the average.
I'm going to go 30.
They used to be average.
This is going to be another tight one. It's going to be 30-27, last-minute type of stuff. Jake, third leg Bates, gonna make it another magical ending. There's a pause in there somewhere.
Yeah, I know. No, but I think it could be more like the Lions dominate for maybe 3/4 of this game and you get a late rally by the Buccaneers, because that's how they make their bread and butter, man. That is how they play their football in Tampa. And listen, it's worked to this point. I just don't know how many times you could go out there and load the gun and try and win another shootout. But, hey, I think that's how they do it.
Yeah, Mason Gander 12-12 out there. I might have mispronounced that on purpose.
Yeah, you might have.
Buck's gonna feel the
bastard.
Lions' wrath, the ref job tonight. No, I love this one from you, Michigander, because this team operates on revenge, and they love to extract it, man. And they give them a reason to be pissed, and I think they're going to be pissed off at themselves. But yeah, there was some malfeasances from the Zebras tonight, but we all knew that, and I think that the Lions had that conversation going in. Like, this game's going to be bullshit.
Yeah.
You know that they're going to create a new Kansas City rule based on this game, and maybe we saw one on that Jared Goff touchdown reception that they called back. But this is something this Lions team has to learn to overcome to get into February and win a game in February. So I said week 1, losing on the road to Green Bay would be a good loss. We saw 4 weeks, a whole month afterward. It was a great reaction to what became a good loss. Put them on the road to 4 wins. I think that they will and have to take this the same way. Hey, listen, there are teams that can come out and beat us. There are formulas that can slow us down.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to dominate time of possession like they have every other game this season.
No,
they lost
absolutely.
it tonight.
What do you always say, Anson? You like to take responsibility for the things that you are doing. You never put the blame on anyone else.
Very important in life.
And that, I can guarantee you, this Lions team is not putting it on the refs.
They never have.
They're not putting it on the offense or the defense. They're putting it on this whole team, the whole organization. The Detroit Lions lost this game, and they're going to come back. They're going to be better next week. And listen, it's not going to be easy yet again. Like, can you imagine if they were to actually lose back-to-back games, bro? I don't know if we're ready to do that show. I'm going to be honest with you. So, no, it'll be imperative for them to come out firing next week, because this is an NFC game. It's going to mean a little bit more, and you have one of the top-tier teams. I mean, they got Baker talking about he's in MVP talks,
I know,
bro.
right? I
He
know.
is in early
Different
MVP
ending to this
talks.
game, and Goff would be in that conversation as well, but he can go a long way to being on top of that conversation by outperforming
Another narrative
Baker.
game for Goff.
Oh, man, it certainly is. Hey, let's end it on this super chat here. $10 from Croswell. Everyone needs to calm down. We are fine. We played okay, but not great. Hard to win like that when you've got the injury we've got. Even if we lose to the Bucs, we are still fine. Fuck the Packers.
Oh,
appreciate
yeah,
the
always.
end there.
FTP.
Appreciate
They
the end
struggle with the fucking Bengals
there.
today.
So, final topic here. if we all are in unison here, we think the Lions win this Monday night matchup against the Bucs. But this is a team that gave us our first loss of the season last year. This is a team that played us to the wire here at Ford Field in the playoffs in 2023. How do you feel if the Lions lose 2 games going into the bye week?
It wouldn't be the best look. But once again, I would not be concerned. The level of concern comes from me when the losses outweigh the wins. And I mean, I'm talking maybe they get 2 losses above where their win total is. Then maybe I start to ask some questions. But once again, until further notice, this Lions team is going to be around. They know how to respond. Y'all always love to wear these grit hats and T-shirts and all this merchandise. You got to believe it.
You got to show some as a fan, too.
Yeah,
right?
you got to believe it, man.
Yeah,
if you're going to buy the merch.
A lot of our fans are gritless.
Yeah, bro. They always if you want to rock the
That's
merch.
A fair point.
If you want to rock the merch, you got to own what it's supposed to represent. So, listen.
Be about it.
Yeah, no, hey, stand on business, bro. And the Lions are going to do that. The Lions are going to stand on business. So, hey, it is what it is. But they're going to crash out if they lose back-to-back. So,
Haley, you worried? You worried about the team, or you were more worried about the city if they lose 2 in a row?
The city, honestly.
I know, right?
Not the city, this chat. I'm worried about our chat.
I know, right?
Specifically.
Right. There's going to be multiple crash outs.
Yeah.
If
There's enough
crash
tonight,
outs and
but
wins.
I think people see it clearly for what happened tonight. They lose at home on Monday. That's not Arrowhead.
No.
You know, they should have some guys back. Maybe TA's back. Maybe Aleem's in there. If they lose with Aleem, with Terrion, Mike Evans, no Godwin, maybe even no Egbuka, if they dump that game, man.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a best. It wouldn't be the best look.
Those
Once
Tuesday
again,
morning shows, I feel bad for Maz and you, and Sean and JB and everybody else. The rest of that day.
We use the numbers. We can use the numbers.
The numbers will be crazy. That morning,
absolutely.
Right?
It will.
So mad. Jeff, you worried though if they dump this one?
I'm not worried at all. I mean,
Not phased.
It's a playoff team.
Talk your shit,
You're
bro.
going to these are games that you might drop. Like going into the season, did any of us have the Lions going completely undefeated? No, we took a look at the schedule and we said, "Wow, they have one of the toughest schedules in the National Football League."
I'm halfway to my prediction already. I said 4 losses. So
I mean, come on. I mean, look at the teams that they played already. They beat the
And
Ravens.
a third of the season in.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Ravens. Going into the season, you could have probably counted that one as a loss.
I didn't.
Everybody auto lost.
I didn't.
Everybody auto lost.
Not this guy.
No, because it was
Not
all
this guy.
Lamar
6-0 for
Jackson
the
and
first 6
everything the Ravens and Lamar
wait a
Jackson's
second.
going to do that.
Well, wait a second. You, the revenge guy.
Revenge.
There was our revenge was due with the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, I did take Baltimore. I took the Lions the day of because I needed some
The
time as a
day
fan.
of.
Listen, but I needed some time as a
Show me
fan to
receipts.
get into it.
Show me that Caesar Sportbook receipt.
No, for sure. But I had to get into it because I had to see it to believe it. Yeah. Because to that point, the Ravens had historically kicked our ass. But once again, this team, man, they just find ways to show you, hey, the kids are gonna be all right, man. It's like sending your kids off to college, man. You just gotta hope and pray,
faith.
man. Yeah, have that faith, but you set them up for success. They're in a good spot. They're pretty smart. They're gonna be okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
And the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
With Joe Burrow, beginning of the season, you're like, that's a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
That schedule looks a lot more doable.
So I mean, if you go into the bye 4-3, you really haven't been healthy for the past 3 weeks. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, especially when you've really gotten through some of the hardest games in your schedule.
That is a fact.
So I mean, we just got to stop being so negative and just realize like, hey, it's football. You're gonna have wins. You're gonna have losses. It's not the end of the world going into the bye 4-3. You're
how
still
many teams
up one.
finish the season perfect?
None really.
There's one, right?
Yeah, Joe. Well, yeah.
There's one with the 73 Dolphins, I believe.
Yeah.
I know Maz could correct me on that, but listen, let's send
supposed to
all
be
of
Brady,
you
man. They
Detroiters to bed, guys. We appreciate you guys fighting through this tough loss and sticking with us through the watch party.
Do some push-ups.
Hanging
Y'all be
out
all right, man.
for the post game with us. Make sure you're up with that cup of coffee. and a blunt or a cigarette, whatever. You got some Mad Packs lying
Maybe
around,
both.
some Gold Crown, whatever, but start your morning off with Sean, Baligan, and Maz. This guy, too.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be tired.
Oh, we going to have a time
By
tomorrow.
the way,
I kind of know how that show going to go tomorrow.
By the way, you don't really look like Calvin Shepard. You're a much better looking man.
Oh, damn. Thank you.
You're a much better looking man. It's just the hair.
Oh, thank you.
I actually really got a chance to. I watched some Lion stuff over the weekend, and I was really looking. I was like, they don't look alike.
Well, thank you.
You better looking.
You
man.
was
You're
really
much better
looking. You
man.
scared me a little bit. I'm like, he was really looking at what?
Watch yourself while you walking across Woodward, buddy.
No, I'm good. Ain't nothing going to happen.
We got
tomorrow.
Conte 151 squeezing in the $5 super chat here. Does this loss hurt? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's so goddamn hard to go 16-1 in the regular season, so Lions will bounce back and we'll
Hey,
be
cop
fine.
out. It's an AFC game, bro. We can cop out now. It's okay.
Dante, did you win your Fantasy Jerks matchup? By the way,
Shout
the Fantasy
out.
Jerks
Fantasy
do return.
Jerks.
We got ourselves a new guy in the booth.
Oh.
Young man over here, J-Dub, Jeff Walker will be handling things
Shout
for us.
out.
So 7:30 Wednesday night, Fantasy Jerks return.
Fantasy Jerks. They're whacking it.
I love when you say that.
I stole that
before.
from Spinny, bro.
I listen to the morning show every day. I love the morning show, and you and JB dropping that.
No,
makes me
Spinny
laugh.
started it. I just picked up the baton and ran with it. But Spinny did the best promo for y'all show that he could ever do. It has not been top.
Hey, I've seen some people from out west, some Kansas City fans, some other people that might be joining us for the first time. Listen, we have 4 shows Monday through Friday. The first one 8 to 10. Then we got Neil Rule from 11 to 1. Braylon Edwards along with Matt Shepard from 2 to 4, and then the heavyweights, the most organic show in sports, from 5 to 7. That's Monday through Friday. And then, like we said, Tuesday nights we got the college football show, Wednesday nights Fantasy Jerks, and then we have a whole weekend of content for you following the, well, no longer the Detroit Tigers, but of course your corn and blue
Man.
Michigan Wolverines, and then on the weekends we got your full Lions slate. Of course, it's Monday night though, so join us second best for that pregame, and then Gillies for the watch party and post-game show. We got one more coming in from Indy Lion. He throwing up the birds. Fuck the Packers, says Indy Lion.
FTP.
Shout out. Hey, KG, appreciate you, man. Always good to do this with you.
Always.
Appreciate you, Haley, for coming in and gracing us with your presence, as well as the young man whose cherry's been popped this weekend, officially, my man.
Holding it down.
Jeff Walker, and of course, intern Scott in the background, man. You guys coming out, making the watch party that much better. Shout out Mad Pack, shout out Sun Cruiser, and shout out, buddies. You guys have a great night. Woodward Sports, good evening.
G.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.